What's up guys, Romansliders here. It's the 12th of October 2012 and I'm here with this week's Q&A. As you can see, I've got myself a new chair. It's very comfortable and I think it's better than the old one. So let's get down to answering some questions. The first question is from the Crazy Gid Gamer, who wants to know if I was disappointed by Banjo Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. I suppose on some level I was disappointed with Nuts and Bolts. It wasn't a traditional platformer like the previous Banjo-Kazooie games had been, and obviously the mechanics were very different. You had to build different vehicles to navigate round levels, and so it was quite strange gaming mechanic. So I personally would have liked another platforming title, and but that's not what we got. On one level, I think it's a shame, but you know, it's understandable that Rare wanted to go in another direction. Although I have to say, from my own point of view, I think Microsoft really wasted Rare's talents ever since they jumped ship from Nintendo to Microsoft. They just haven't been used in the same capacity. If The only sort of several games of note that Rare have made for Microsoft have been, I think, Grabbed by the Ghoulies, Nuts and Bolts, and also Perfect Dark. And I think, particularly with Perfect Dark and Nuts and Bolts, they were just, in my opinion, pale imitations of what they were on Nintendo. And I've said it before, but Rare's best days are on the Nintendo platforms, with both the Super Nintendo and the Nintendo 64. Probably their greatest outings being the Donkey Kong series. So yeah, I would say I was disappointed with Nuts and Bolts, and it was also strange how in Nuts and Bolts you had the Lord of Games, I think it was, taking both Grunty and Banjo and Kazooie out of sort of a game world and then putting them in a very much breaking the fourth wall by putting them in a series of challenges, which was interesting. But it's a real shame. I would have expected better, and I really hope there's another worthy Banjo Kazooie game, which harkens back to both Banjo Kazooie, the original Banjo Kazooie, and also Banjo Tooie. But we'll have to see what Rare does next, and I really hope they go back to Nintendo at some point because I think it's the best for them. The second question is from the Unknown Freak, who wants to know, am I intending on getting the Xbox 720? I think at some point I will, but when I was answering the question about whether I'll get the Wii U or not, I'm gonna wait until it comes down in price because inevitably when these consoles do release, they are very expensive, and I rarely have the money for them at the time. So you know, I wait until a good couple of months down the line until it goes down in price. And there was those blueprints that were leaked online a few months back about what the 720 would look like. But of course, those are just prototypes, and what was in those documents will probably look completely different from the final product. But the question I really want to know is, you know, is there going to be any real difference between sort of gameplay wise and graphics wise between the consoles now and the PlayStation 4 and the 720? You know, is there going to be much difference? Because I think we've gotten to the point where it's just been a series of refinement and polishing. There have been no real huge leaps forward, such as from the leap forward from the transition, I should say, from 2D to 3D back in the late 90s. From what we've got now, it's just been refinement, and I really don't know if the next generation of consoles can will offer that any improvements. But of course, we don't have any screenshots of what games on the 720 or PS4 will look like. So I think I'm gonna wait and see what the 720 is offering before I get it, and I certainly won't be getting it on release day because it'll be far too expensive. Um, but I do see myself getting it at some point. I can't see the console being released till the end of next year, possibly into 2014 at some point. But again, we'll have to wait and see. But you know, as a question to you, do you think the Xbox 720 or the PS4 will offer a great leap forward in gameplay, or not, or to justify a purchase? So to go back to the original question, I will be probably getting a 720 at some point, but when it becomes a better investment and a better deal. The last question comes in from Delusionary Killer, who wants to know, since you've played Devil May Cry 1, what is your perspective on the new Devil May Cry? I personally like the look of the new Devil May Cry. Obviously Dante is being portrayed as much younger now, and it gives a new twist on things. I like the way the world sort of twists around you. I think that's quite a unique mechanic, and I think this is a full-on reboot that Capcom are doing, which I think from time to time franchises do need a new coat of paint to keep them fresh. You can't keep rehashing the same stuff over and over again because that just gets stale. So it'll be interesting to see how this game ties in to the later games, and how if Dante gets his trademark silver hair back, or if they're going to keep him like kind of young and rebellious looking. I think it's going to stack up in comparison to the first four games, and I hope they keep Dante just this game as a single player as Dante, and because that's what I think fans and players care about. They don't want to be playing as Nero or Virgil or any other character. They just want to be playing as Dante, and I hope Capcom just make it one character, one character journey. So I think the new Devil May Cry games is coming out beginning of next year, or sometime after. But I'm definitely very interested in it, and I'm gonna get my hands on it because it looks very interesting, and I can't wait for it. Thanks again for all your questions. I really do appreciate them. Be sure to send more in by posting them in the comment section below, or by going on Facebook, or go to Twitter. Yes, I'm now on Twitter, so be sure to tweet me stuff and follow me because I would really like that. Again, thanks again for everything. Keep sending me more questions, and I will see you guys next week. Okay, take care.